Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, welcome back to our English lesson. I am Hailul, your English teacher, and this time we are going to learn about fantasy text. Oke, selamat datang kembali dalam pembelajaran bahasa Inggris kita. Saya Hailul, guru bahasa Inggris Anda, dan kali ini kita akan mempelajari tentang teks fantasi. This is an English material for grade 11. Ya, jadi ini adalah materi bahasa Inggris untuk kelas 11. Alright, before we continue, there are several objectives of learning that we are going to achieve in this material. Baik, sebelum kita lanjut, ada beberapa tujuan pembelajaran yang akan kita capai dalam materi ini. Yang pertama, mengidentifikasi karakteristik yang berbeda dari sebuah teks fantasi termasuk fungsi sosial dan struktur teks. Yang kedua, mengidentifikasi unsur kebahasaan dari sebuah teks fantasi, yakni adjective clause dan reported speech. Yang ketiga, memahami informasi implisit dan eksplisit, ide pokok dan informasi detail dari teks. Yang keempat, menulis sebuah cerita fantasi dengan struktur dan unsur kebahasaan yang tepat. Dan yang kelima, berbagi dan menceritakan kembali cerita fantasi. Okay? Well, what is fantasy text? Fantasy are stories that include impossible or magic systems as the components of the story. Jadi teks fantasi adalah cerita yang mengambil tempat dalam dunia yang diciptakan sepenuhnya, yang seringkali berbeda dengan dunia nyata dan bisa mencakup unsur-unsur sihir seperti makhluk fantasi dengan memiliki kekuatan yang luar biasa yang tidak mungkin ada di dunia nyata. Ya, and the characteristic of narrative text, fantasy is also aimed to amuse. Ya, sebagai ciri khas sebuah teks naratif, fantasi juga bertujuan untuk menghibur. Ya, yang terdiri dari orientation, complication, and resolutions. Jadi strukturnya itu berupa orientation, paragraf pengenalan, lalu complication atau permasalahan, dan resolutions. Ya, jadi tujuannya yaitu untuk menghibur dan menginspirasi imajinasi pembaca dengan hal-hal yang sangat luar biasa, gitu ya. Oke. Alright, my beloved students, before we look at the example of fantasy text, let's do task 1. Baik, para siswa sekalian, sebelum kita melihat contoh teks fantasi, mari kita kerjakan task 1. Match the words in the left with their meaning in the right. Hubungkanlah kata-kata yang ada di sebelah kiri dengan artinya di sebelah kanan. Okay, number 1, tyranny. What is the meaning of tyranny? Good. Tyranny means kezaliman. Ya, jadi nomor 1 berpasangan dengan J, yaitu kezaliman. Number 2, windmill. What is the meaning? Good. Kincir angin. Ya. Number 2, F, kincir angin. Scapegoat. Number 3, with I, kambing hitam. Number 4, privilege. Privilege. Good. D, hak istimewa. Number 5, equal. Equal means good. Setara atau sama. And then speculation. Ya, speculation, spekulasi atau perkiraan. Gitu ya. Aliens. Aliens number 7 is persekutuan. B. Okay, and then animalism. Animalism ya sesuai dengan katanya yaitu sifat kebinatangan. Okay, good. Leadership. Number 9, leadership. Leadership is kepemimpinan. And the last one, blasting. Blasting is ledakan. Okay, excellent. Ya, bagus sekali. Well, let's continue task 2. Listen and complete. Ya, mari kita lanjut task 2. Dengarkan dan lengkapi kata-kata yang hilang dalam teks. This is a story by George Orwell with the title Animal Farm. One night, the oldest pig on Manor Farm, named the Old Major, called all the animals in the farm for a meeting. He described his dream about the world where all animals would live free from the tyranny of the human masters. The old major died soon after the meeting, but inspired by his philosophy of animalism, two younger pigs, Snowball and Napoleon, assumed command. Napoleon and Snowball led the animals in Manor Farm to rebel and drive Mr. Jones from the farm. Then the animals changed Manor Farm's name to Animal Farm. The seven rules of animalism were written on the wall of the barn. Snowball acted as the leader, attempting to read and write. Then the pigs soon elevated themselves to the position of leadership. Meanwhile, Napoleon managed to take the pups from the farm's dogs and train them privately. One day, Mr. Jones came with his friends trying to retake the farm. However, the animals defeated him and could defend the farm. As the smartest animal, Napoleon and Snowball struggled for leadership. When Snowball announced the idea for constructing a windmill, Napoleon opposed it. Napoleon had his dogs and chased Snowball away. Later, in Snowball's absence, Napoleon declared himself leader and made many changes. He eliminated all meetings and instead a committee of pigs ran the farm. A pig named Squalor was assigned by Napoleon as accomplice. He announced that Snowball stole Napoleon's idea of making a windmill. All animals except the pigs had to work harder to make the windmill and were promised to have easier lives with the windmill. In fact, the animals received less and less food, while the pigs grew fatter. Unfortunately, months after making the windmill, a violent storm hit. Napoleon convinced the animal that Snowball destroyed it. He started to make Snowball a scapegoat. When he purged the farm by killing animals, he also accused Snowball of being the culprit. Napoleon has surely abused his powers. He made life even harder for animals. The pigs imposed more control over the farm while they reserved privilege for themselves. The rules of animalism in the farms began to change and evolve. The pigs started to adopt the lifestyle of human, while the other animal, though cold, starving, and overworked, remained convinced through psychological conditions that they were still better off than they were ruled by Mr. Jones. Unexpectedly, Mr. Frederick, one of the neighboring farmers, swindled Napoleon and attacked the farm using blasting powder to blow up the restored windmill. Although the animals could win the battle, they did so at a great cost, including Boxer the horse, who was wounded while being ill. Boxer continued working harder and harder until he collapsed while working on the windmill. Napoleon directly sent for a fan to take Boxer to the vet, explaining that a better care could be given there. Boxer died among speculation from the pigs that it was a cover up from Squealer. Years passed and the pigs learned to walk upright, carried whips, and wore clothes just like humans. The seven rules of animalism were reduced to a single phrase: all animals are equal, but Some animals are more equal than others. One night, Napoleon held a dinner party for the pigs and the humans of the area, who congratulated Napoleon on having the hardest working animals in the country on the last feet. Then Napoleon announced an alliance with humans and reverted the name of the farms to Manor Farm. The other animals overheard those conversations. They noticed that the faces of the pigs had begun changing. The animals realized that the face of pigs looked like the faces of humans and no one could tell the difference between them. That's the end of the story of Animal Farm. Ya, demikianlah cerita tentang Animal Farms. Okay, now let's look at the task 3. Task 3, answer the following question based on the text. Jawablah pertanyaan-pertanyaan berikut berdasarkan teks. Ya, jadi dalam hal ini adalah teks Animal Farm. Ya, number 1, what is the story about? Ya, jadi cerita itu berkisah tentang apa? Oke, silakan Anda jawab. Number 2, who is your favorite character? Ya, siapa tokoh favorit Anda? And what do you like about him? Ya, kamu suka dia itu kenapa gitu ya? Dari sisi apa kamu suka gitu? And then number 3, would you want to be the character? Why or why not? Ya, apakah kamu ingin menjadi tokoh tokoh itu? Kenapa? Atau kenapa tidak gitu ya? Number 4, what do you learn from your favorite characters? Apa yang kamu pelajari dari tokoh favorit Anda? Number 5, how did the pigs gain their leadership? Bagaimana para babi-babi itu mencapai kepemimpinan mereka gitu? Why did all the other animals allow this to occur? Ya, kenapa hewan-hewan yang lain, binatang-binatang yang lain membiarkan ini terjadi gitu. Sekarang nomor 6, how did Napoleon solidify his leadership position on the farms? Bagaimana Napoleon ya mengompakkan kepemimpinannya, posisi kepemimpinannya dalam peternakan tersebut. Oke, jadi bagaimana ya? Number 7, what happened to Boxer? Apa yang terjadi pada Boxer? How did other animals learn of his fate? Ya, bagaimana hewan-hewan itu mempelajari nasib mereka? Oke, nomor 8. Compare snowballs with Napoleon's leadership. Which leadership do you prefer and why? Bandingkanlah kepemimpinan Snowball dan Napoleon. Ya, kepemimpinan yang macam mana yang Anda lebih sukai dan kenapa? Gitu ya. Silakan Anda jawab. And number 9. What was your reactions to the animals taking power from humans? Ya. Apa reaksi Anda terhadap hewan-hewan yang mengambil alih kekuatan dari manusia gitu ya? Mereka bisa mengambil alih kepemimpinan itu dari tangan manusia. Bagaimana ya? Bagaimana reaksi Anda? Oke, silakan Anda jawab. And number 10, what do you learn from the story? Apa yang kamu pelajari dari cerita tersebut? Oke, silakan Anda kerjakan dan dikumpul. Baik, demikianlah materi kita kali ini tentang teks fantasi. Semoga dapat dipahami dan bermanfaat. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.